Good morning, Internet. It is Eric Arnold, aka the Big E, coming to you from the frigid sports barn here in parts unknown in eastern Pennsylvania. It's about 5 after midnight on Thursday, January 23rd. Thank you for being here. We're here. We're going to have a couple things for you here. We're going to have 2 episodes that I'm going to make here this evening in the sports barn. We're going to recap our picks from Tuesday, the 21st of January. And then I'm just going to kind of sit here and speculate, pontificate, educate, just rattle on, fill in some time. And then we're going to make a whole separate video for the picks for Thursday. Because there's a bunch of them. I mean a bunch of them. It's mid-major Thursday. And that means my little model spit out all kind of picks. I think we got upwards of like 17 of them. And for me to rattle through 17 picks and talk about other stuff, that'd take 40 minutes and nobody's going to want to sit through that. With perhaps the exception of subscriber B or X possibly. So what happened Tuesday? We had 9 games for you. Let's see what happened here. Our top selection in the MAC was Toledo, and that came home a winner, 83-74. Nice. We always like to win our top-rated plays. To refresh your memory, we use a 1, 2, and 3-star system. 3 being our top. Generally, we think that's good for about 60 to 63%. 2 stars, generally around 54-55%, we're hoping. And then 1 star, that's basically me just throwing something in there. That's about good for 51% possibly. So we don't have a hell of a lot of confidence in the 1-star games. We're happy with so far. That seems to have borne out in my tests and my practice picks, even on the ones I put on the internet, that the 1-star plays don't win as often as the higher rated games. I was worried that it would be the opposite, that, whatever game you had the highest opinion on, that would just lose all the time. But the ones you kind of felt half good, half-assed about, those would always win. Well, it hasn't that way. It's you feel good about a game, those win more often than lose. So it makes it a lot more simple, and let's keep going with that. So winner here with Toledo. Georgia loses 79-89. Luckily for us, they were getting 11.5 points. So that's just enough. I honestly don't know how they covered that game, because Kentucky was up, 10, 12, 14 there at the end of the game. And that's usually where the losing team just starts hacking and fouling, and then, the other team takes a parade to the free throw line, and you can't lose at that point. All they got to do is make some free throws. But somehow Georgia hung in there close. They must have hit a late 3 or 2 and ended up getting the cover. So hooray for us. Probably could have gone either way, but we got that one. Illinois, 5.5 point underdogs. We had homestanding Purdue, and it just didn't happen for us. We lost the whole thing, even as a favorite. We lost 62 for us, 79 for Illinois. I said that was a prove-it-to-me game for Brad Underwood. He still may have to prove it to me more, but he got us on that one. Definitely kicked our butts on that one. So that was a loser. Maryland, what can you say about these guys? They were dead. First half, absolutely dead. I think they were down like 15 points at halftime. And they just came roaring all the way back to not only win the game, but cover the 6.5, 77-66. Winner, cover, winner, winner. It was only for 1 star, but still, nice win for Maryland. That's why we'd say we don't trust you, because, you never know what you're going to get with that team. So you got a tale of 2 halves, and the second half was greater than the first half. Good for them. Winner, outright, Northern Illinois. We had them getting 9 points at Kent State. They win outright, 76-69. Nice. I said this one I had to talk myself into. Kansas State at Kansas getting 14 and a half with good reason. A lot of these numbers, we did not get the best of these numbers. I don't know what happened. We were doing really well getting the best of the numbers around, midnight when we make these videos. Well, for whatever reason, we sure as hell didn't get the best on a lot of these, because this number went up to like 16 or something. Not that it mattered, because they got their asses kicked, 81-60. And then I guess there was a fight, or whatever passes for fights nowadays, at the end of the game, where I guess what happened was the game's over, and now they've got their backups in, and Kansas has got some kid in there who I guess is highly rated, highly touted, but he's not getting any minutes because, I don't know, he probably just isn't that good or as good as he thinks he is. And he's got the ball and he's dribbling it. And Kansas State, I think they told their kids just to, lay off, game's over, let it go. But he's got the backups in. I mean, what do you expect's going to happen? So some freshman for Kansas State is on the floor finally. He probably gets about 6 minutes a game, maybe less. He's on the floor, and man, he decides he's going to try to steal the ball, and he does. There's like 5 seconds left. He steals the ball. Now he's booking down the other end, and he's going to try to dunk it or lay it up. And the other kid, who's big, he's embarrassed now because this other little freshman stole the ball from him. So now he's pissed. So he's booking after him, and as the little freshman goes up for the layup, the big the junior from Kansas, he just tomahawks that ball into the next dimension. Pow! And then just stands over the fallen freshman like, "You're my bitch." And he just stood there. And then that was it. The Kansas State kids, it's like, come on. I mean, it's bad enough you're beating our ass, but now you're punking our little brother too. Now we're mad. So they went out there and, started pushing and shoving, and next thing you know, people are starting to throw some punches. I didn't see any land. What was really weird was this guy, he reaches over and he grabs a chair or a little stool. He's walking around like this. This guy's like 6'8". He's got a chair. It's like, what are you doing, dude? This isn't wrestling. That's not a breakaway stool you have there. He didn't actually use the stool, but it was almost like, you got a proportionality problem, buddy. I mean, you're the biggest guy out there to begin with, and now you're grabbing a stool in addition to being bigger than everybody else. It's like, take it easy, lighten up, Francis. So he got, I think, suspended for 12 games. Kansas won't miss him. He's a backup. Plus, he's probably a pain in the ass, too. Bill Self was probably secretly doing jumping jacks. Yes, I get rid of this asshole. So that was the excitement there. I mean, the upshot of it is we lost. And I applaud the little freshman for trying to get us some points in the last seconds. It wouldn't have mattered, but nice try anyway. Would have been nicer to get them earlier in the game. So that was a loss. Villanova, Jay Wright backing us again. The great Jay Wright coming up with the 76-61 victory for us over Butler. A beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. I saw that Villanova shot like just a ton of free throws and made most of them because they're good free throw shooters. So they made a ton of free throws, a lot more than Butler, and that's kind of what we were looking for. We haven't, if you paid attention to our picks, we haven't quite taught the model yet how to come up with the home games. It's spitting out road games left and right, and we got to hunt for good home games. But that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for that place where you've got a home court advantage, and you don't always have it. You got to have asses in every seat. The place has to be intimidating. The refs have to be intimidated. And I would argue that would be a place the refs would be intimidated, where Butler's going to go in there. Their normal modus of operandi is to play tough, hack 'em up defense, And in a place like that, in Jay Wright's house, they're going to call those fouls. Absolutely. You're not going to hack the shit out of Villanova in their house and expect to get away with it. They're going to call those fouls, and they did. So Villanova got the benefit of the foul line and the win. And then the last two here, both losers. Texas Tech, they were in at halftime, in it at halftime, and then they just went away. Just folded in the second half. TCU wins it going away, 65-54. We were favored. Big loss, easy loss, not close. And then the last game also, I did not like this game at all. San Jose's a bad team, has a bad coach. The point spread plummeted right before tip-off, which told me that somebody was hurt from New Mexico that came out like an hour before tip-off. Not that it mattered. New Mexico wins going away 86-59. We were only getting like 11 points, not nearly enough. So yeah, that one didn't feel good to begin with. So to recap, 5 wins, 4 losses. Makes our overall record 34-25. We're okay with that. I'm actually really happy with that. One of the things that I want to ramble on here about for a minute or two are volume of games, which I think is going to be something that will carry over into the next video. We got 17 games here. 17 games on the 23rd of January. So why not, If you can find 17 games where you think you've got a 53, 54, 55% edge or better, then why not shoot it? Take it. Take that shot. If you can go, and we're hoping in the next video to come up with, 17 games, let's say. Well, we'd love to go 10-7. I think we can do that. If we can do that, that's a +3. A +3, that's not bad. That's not bad. I mean, if you're only picking a game or two a day, it could take you a week to get to +3. It could take you 10 days. We might be able to do it in a night. So volume, I think, could be a key to winning, to generate, to churn that cash, to turn that cash. You gotta have an edge there. You can't just pick, I like them because they got green uniforms. No, you gotta have an edge. And we think we do have edges in all these 17 games I'm gonna rattle off for you in the next video. So there's that. What else we got here for you? Because I'm rambling on here. Got these giant work gloves on. Because it's really cold out here tonight. I was looking at the NCAA top 10, just kind of trying to look at teams I've been impressed with, teams that I'm looking for spots to play, just because I think that some of these teams are better or undervalued, if you will. I'm impressed with Kansas. I'm impressed with Louisville. Louisville tonight, in a bad spot for them. They got down at halftime. And they came back and got the W. I mean, they didn't cover, but it was a bad spot for them, and they still got the win, which is good for them. Seton Hall, those guys look like real tough competitors. I think the Big East is going to come down to Villanova and Seton Hall. Seton Hall really looks tough. So that could be a team to keep your eye on. Lastly, Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame. I guess they're letting Larry Walker in, and of course Derek Jeter. And I guess the controversy is Derek Jeter didn't get every last vote to make it unanimous. I'm a little confused by how this is done, just in that back in the day, almost nobody got in with a unanimous vote. And I mean nobody, even the greatest of the greats, like Mickey Mantle and such. Somebody would leave them off their ballot. So somebody left Jeter off the ballot, and I don't know. It was probably just somebody who was like a Mantle fan or something. Well, if it's not unanimous for the Mick, then it ain't going to be unanimous for Jeter. That's fair reasoning, I guess. My guy's Kurt Schilling. You know, he's always that much short. He got a little closer this year, but he's still short. You know, Schilling's not in because there are a lot of sports writers that just don't like him. You know, he's a Trump guy. He's not ashamed to let you know that. He can be an acquired taste, if you will. Ask any number of those old '93 Phillies. Kurt's perhaps got a big mouth, but that shouldn't keep him out. He should be in. I think next year he actually will make it. He should be in. I was happy to see that none of the steroid guys got in. The sports writers, these guys, they need to hold the line on this. These steroid guys, they're starting to get weak knees. They're starting to cave. It's like, how bad of a look would that have been after this giant cheating scandal with the Astros if all of a sudden these steroid guys now suddenly get in? In other words, we're outraged about this cheating over here, but we've forgiven this cheating over here. Fuck, we have. I haven't. Fuck you. I have not forgiven you steroid guys, and I never will. You guys cheated, and I don't know you can be punished enough. Some of them are not punished at all. A-Rod, does it look like A-Rod's punished? I mean, he's on TV, on ESPN, he's on Fox. I mean, he doesn't seem to be punished. We love A-Rod. The hell we do. I don't. So, there's my ramblings for that. So let me pause the video and restart it. Give you a new one where we're going to have 17 picks against the spread. We'll see if we can push this 34-25 record higher. Let's see if we can. We're hoping we don't trash it all together. That would suck. And it could happen because 17 picks, it's a big number. But stay tuned. Look for the other video. Appreciate you watching this one. Thanks and good morning.